Hi, I'm Rick. Welcome to the Around the World Adventure. And yeah, we're still planning our escape from this vastly overpriced city below me of Barcelona. But in the meantime, we've already spent the money. We might as well try to get our euros worth, right? So let's go kind of explore the city while we catch you up on how we're actually going to leave it. Okay, if you will hark back to last week's episode, we explained to you how we are staying in the cheapest Airbnb we could find. Do you have any idea how much we're paying for this fine room? $1,800 a month. Do you know what the next least expensive place in Barcelona is, Airbnb style? $3,000. Some of them are even up to $5,000. Well, we found a way to survive. We found a way that we could put up with Barcelona. Is that a rooster I just heard? I just heard a rooster in the middle of Barcelona. We found a way to survive this and to kind of do more than just survive, but we're going to have a really spectacular way of exiting Barcelona. I can't tell you what it is yet, and Nikki won't let me. It's still in there goes the rooster again. It's still in the gooey planning stages, but maybe by the end of this video, I'll be able to tell you. But for now, we're going to take you into this fine city and spend all that money that we've already spent. Hey, do you see that guy right there? You know, him right there. That's Christopher Columbus. You know, the guy who sailed the ocean blue, the one who went over to discover the New World. Okay, so that's nice you say, Rick. What's Christopher Columbus got to do with a Barcelona video? Well, guess what that is? It's not just a statue sitting in the middle of a roundabout in the middle of a busy intersection. You can actually go up it. Yep, you can actually climb up Christopher Columbus's butt. Most Barcelonans don't even know about this place. This base, it's got a gift shop, it's got a bar, it's got a ticket sales, and you ride this little elevator all the way to the top. And up there's a little observation point. Yeah, that little narrow thing has an actual elevator in it. And the big question is this still open? You know, during these times of dread and pandemic and locusts and all the other plagues that are... Let's go see. Just requires a sneak down the old stairway. And oh no, they're closed. They're closed. Well, I guess that was to be expected. COVID has had its way with this city along with, well, everywhere else in the world. Even old, you know, Christopher up here. I really wanted to get inside that elevator and show you, but I guess the elevator holds 3 people and one of them is the elevator operator. I guess it is safer not to do it, but the places that I'm so used to frequenting are the restaurants and the stores and the shops, and most of them are gone now. It's just, it seems like such a different Barcelona. It seems like such a different world. But I guess if you want to look at the bright side, I mean, maybe, just maybe, we get to explore somewhere different rather than reliving old memories. I'm grasping here. I'm really grasping at straws, trying to find a silver lining. I'm sorry, Chris. Next time we'll bring people up into your nether regions. Montjuic over there, big fort. That's sort of Barceloneta down in there. That's where I used to live. So to catch you all up, we are actually in Carmel, which is high above Barcelona, almost out of Barcelona. It's how we're kind of escaping Barcelona before we actually truly escape this whole Catalonian area. And it is gorgeous up here. But the problem is, and here's the thing nobody ever talks to you about when they're a travel blogger, is exercise. Now, to get up here requires a lot more lung action than I actually have. Oh, hang on. You got to see this. Do you actually see this little cave? Am I the only person who looks and goes, I really want to see what's down there? But there's no way my fat butt's getting down there, especially with my lack of exercise. But that's something that I need to work on, something that I think a lot of travel bloggers need to talk about. Or maybe they need to talk to me because I haven't figured it out yet. I am using parts of my lung that I didn't even know I owned because everything here is, yeah. So anyway, back to trying to figure out what to do with the next 2 weeks. Okay, do you see that shop back there? I have a really funny, well, not so funny now story to tell you. My daughter Kimmy visited us back in 2019 and we decided to go, what do they call it? Stand-up paddling. Well, we didn't check the weather. The guy really didn't want to rent us the paddleboard, but we went out anyway. Well, Kimmy got onto her board and promptly the waves just took her away. Now, when I say take her away, I mean that in the truest, literal sense of the word. She just vanished, well, actually that way. And there was nothing I could do about it. I couldn't get on my paddle. I couldn't go chase after her. And so what I did was I ran down the beach. I just kept going from lifeguard station to lifeguard station, trying to use my limited Spanish to go, my daughter, you've got to help my daughter. And honestly, they didn't care all that much. The question I kept being asked was, is she out here in front of my stand? And I would say, no, she's been washed down there. And they would tell me to go down to the next lifeguard station. Well, finally, I'm about a mile down the beach, and I've had about enough. And I'm arguing with the lifeguard there. And all of a sudden, someone comes up to me and taps me on the shoulder and goes, "Hi, Dad." "Hi, Dad?" Yeah, I don't know whether to have been gleefully happy that she was alive or ready to throw her back in the water because of the "Hi, Dad." So what had happened was she actually got picked up by a boat out in the middle of the water. They convinced her that there was no way she was going to paddle back in by herself. She really wanted to. She kind of believed that, well, she had the ability. Well, they brought her back into a marina. They stored the paddleboard. I had to walk down and get it. We kind of did the same thing to Nikki, who was arguing with the police as we walked up and went, "Hi!" And she was also caught between relief and not. Well, the moral of the story, I don't know if there's a moral of the story, but when they tell you at the store, you know, maybe you don't want to rent this thing today, listen to them. That is where I used to live. Doesn't look like much, but it was home. This is Barcelona, the beach neighborhood. There's a couple things you need to know about it. One, it's very, very crowded, mostly because when the cruise ships disgorge people, this is where they this is where they drop them off. Another thing you need to know is this particular neighborhood is rampant with pickpockets. Not only is the subway not your friend when it comes to that, on the beach, you definitely want to keep track of everything you have and don't let anybody bend over to try to sell you something because they're going to walk away with something else. I used to also live right there. Not that it has anything to do with the story, but just thought I'd share. And now it is time for some food drama. Now, yes, I could take you along and show you Spanish food. I could teach you all about tapas, but you know, everybody teaches you about tapas. I'm going to teach you about Arabic food. Just over this hill where we're about to go, there's plenty of restaurants. At least there used to be a couple of years ago. The city has been trying to clear them out for a long time now to make way for, well, more expensive discos and nightclubs. But if it's still there, you can, well, they got these giant hookahs that you can smoke while you are gobbling up some of the yummiest food you have ever had. And I do mean yummy. And I'm seriously hoping that it's still there. Okay, we're almost there, assuming the place exists. Do you see the giant copper fish? Well, here's the tourist tip. If you want to find the place, go to Barcelona, turn left at the water, and head for the fish. And the jury says it is completely gone. It is absolutely, completely gone. This is making me very, very unhappy. You know, not because, you know, they created a marina so you can park your $250,000 yacht over there. It's because they annihilated an entire community. That was a whole subculture of Barcelona. There is a lot of Arabic, African, Moorish, if you will, culture here. And they just wiped it off the face of the earth. Well, they wiped it off the face of Barcelona. This progress? No, I am struggling with the decisions this city makes, and I realize I'm not a resident. I realize I'm not a Spaniard, but I am a human. And you don't take the livelihood of that many people and it's such a wonderful place and just get rid of it. So you could put that in its place. Okay, despite my earlier claim that I'm not going to take you to eat tapas, I'm taking you to eat tapas. Now, if you see one of these places say Tapa Tapa, don't go there. That is the McDonald's of tapas. You don't want to do that. And if you ever see this sign, definitely don't eat there. And you always start with one of these. So what is a tapa, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. A tapa is a small plate, an appetizer, but it's not really any of those. We don't have anything like it in America. It is a small plate of food, and you can get several of them, different flavors. There's seafood and there's vegetables, and there's all kinds of things. Basically, you get a whole bunch of them, you put them on the table, everybody shares, everybody has a beverage, and everybody just sort of talks and yaks. You can have them for a main meal, but usually you just kind of have them when you want to have something to eat. This is pan con tomate, literally pan, bread, tomate, tomato. What they do, here, let me spin this around. What they do is they take some yummy bread and they rub a tomato on it, and then they rub garlic on it, and they usually rub a little olive oil. The really fun places actually give you all those things, and you get to do them yourself. This is a Catalan classic. It's just really, really fresh and yummy. That's probably for disgusting TV, isn't it? It's really fresh and yummy. And it's a really good cleanser for what's about to come next. Yeah, that worked out really well. Everybody's laughing at me over there. These are pescadito fritos, fried fish. They're just little sardini things, and they don't do anything except batter them and Throw them in hot oil. You eat them tail, head, everything. There, you see them? These things, you can eat them by the pound. Nikki and I were down on the beach a couple of years ago. They brought them in fresh from the water. Let me finish chewing. They brought them in fresh from the water. And we just sat there waiting for them to, get them off the boat, throw them on a grill. Actually, they grilled those. And oh my God, we just sat on the beach and they were so good. I know it sounds gross, eating fried little fishies, but get the pescadito fritos. Absolutely. It's one of the best tapas ever. You know what I love traveling most of all? You run into some seriously interesting people. I was just sitting back there having those tapas, and the two guys at the next table over, they started talking to me first in Spanish, then something else. Then we realized we did English. They're from Guatemala. They're two guys. They have a business. They're content creators, songwriter type people. And they also fly an ultralight, which is one of those little teeny tiny planes. They invited me to go down to Guatemala to fly with them. So guess what you're going to be seeing at some point during the next year's journey. Yeah, I'm going to conquer my fear of heights and go meet two strangers and have them take me up in the air. What could go wrong with that? So let's talk budget and unmet expectations. The original ending to this video was going to be rather cool. We were going to combine lodging with transportation and save a whole lot of money because Barcelona pretty much killed our budget. Well, we were going to do van life. We were going to rent a van. We were going to travel around Spain and ooh and ah our way across the country. Guess what? You can't do it. Well, you can rent one as long as you have an international driver's license. Guess where you can get one of those? Not here. I could go back to the States, get one for $10 and fly back. That seems like a budget buster too. So we're coming up with plan C, actually. And I'm not going to tell you what it is yet because it's every time I try to tell you what's going to happen, it doesn't happen. So I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen. Stick around to the end of the video and you'll find out what actually happened. Oh, by the way, here's a fun fact. Do you see this thing? They have these all over Barcelona. It's free water. It's completely potable. It's really yummy and cold. You can walk around with a water bottle all day and just fill these up. They use them for dogs. They'll turn it on with a little cup and the dog will but it's really neat. Free, absolutely free Barcelona water, all for the squeezing. So yeah, van life is off for us right now. We're not going to be able to hop in one of those and cruise around Galicia. We will get up there eventually for personal reasons. For now, the way we're going to escape Barcelona, our next destination is Granada. Yep, we are pointing ourselves south towards Andalusia in the very bottom of Spain, where we're going to enjoy sun, unlike here today, fun, a seriously dangerous hike, and I'm not kidding about that one, and hopefully a cheaper Airbnb. By a little scosy bit. You know, I'm really missing Central America and Mexico. Their prices were so much better. And with that, my friends, be healthy, be happy, and we will see you soon. Just not in Barcelona.